There it is. Okay, it's recording now. Okay. And let me make sure it's starting to, yep, it's already starting. Okay. Well, he kicked back my onlyness statement as well. So Charles isn't the only one.
Well, what was he saying?
That my benefits and features are not, what was his exact words? They're not connecting, is what he said.
Yeah.
What does yours say again?
Right now it says that Greener Day Toys is the only environmentally safe wooden book and toy online store based out of Madison, Wisconsin, that provides a sense of reminiscence towards parents and grandparents of young children through environmentally conscious alternative educational books and toys.
Okay. I understand what he means now, because after through, you have to say, what is it about them that makes them reminisce?
Okay. Yeah.
That's the connection.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing today, because I did the live one earlier and I think I got to understanding what he was saying about that, but now I'm like, I can't, like, I have like the benefits is like education, environmentally safe, and family engagement, but those don't say reminiscent. So I thought about changing it as like a sense of environmentally conscious, and then say towards parents and grandparents of young children through family engagement, educational, and environmental safe practices. I thought about changing it to that and see if that,
because I had to totally remove young professionals, because I couldn't connect anything that targeted them specifically, and I just focused on context, because then I could figure out, well, what do contact sport enthusiasts like? You know, how do I bring that benefit to them? So you might have to change either what the benefit is to cater to the features, or you have to change the features to match the benefit.
Yeah. And he really liked my word alternative. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to throw the word alternative in there either. Cause I'm like, it's like alternative toys, basically getting kids off the screens, but.
And does it have to be in the onlyness statement, or can it be like in the brand personality elements?
See, that's what so like I've done and I'll show you because I got it up right now. I'm just finished my board. Hopefully it's sharing the right screen. Which screen is it showing?
I'm seeing InDesign.
Okay, good. I'll say I've got two screens. I'll say if you see March Madness brackets, it's the right thing. We do a big March Madness bracket for school or for work. It's a big competition. We get into it, but so like I went with like the organic approach and like getting like touching on the images of like the reminiscence of it, because my big thing was making sure that, oh goodness, somebody's crazily honking a horn. Actually, my door's open. Nothing really ever happens like that out here. But like I got like pictures of like grandparents getting in there and involved, like getting in with their kids and reading to like kind of going back to last week where I had like my narrative was talking about that. So, and I put some like like the retro-ish colors. Like I was trying to do like environmental colors with some thing that looked more older.
Yeah, it looks very organic. Like that's the vibe that I'm getting.
Yeah, so I want to keep the reminiscent feel into it, but I think that I'm just gonna take it out of my onlyness statement and keep it in the narrative.
Yeah, because that might be like the way you really get to connect it and fulfill what's needed for the onlyness statement and move on from that.
Yeah. Jewel, did you have to redo yours too?
Not my onlyness statement. What I did was when I was like turning in my work, I kind of like totally omitted putting in the thesis application part. And I did it, but I just forgot to put it in there. So he was like saying all the stuff was missing. I was like, I did it. I looked and I didn't turn it in. So anyways,
Oh my gosh.
That's
yeah.
the worst.
So
I did that one time. I forgot to turn in a annotated bibliography, and I was like, oh, but I got lucky, and the teacher was like, oh, it's fine, no worries, and she was great. But oof, I've done that. It's
yeah.
the worst
So
feeling.
Yeah.
and I
That's
get
like
and
when
he
I
said
forgot
like
to update my Spark page. I was like, oh my God.
Oof.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess he said like well he didn't really see. I don't know. I was kind of confused because like my positioning statement, I didn't put it on the other part because it was just me on the rationale. But so he didn't really see it. But he said it wasn't connecting, and I wasn't sure if he was just saying the part that he saw on the rationale. But and we didn't really get a lot of time to talk today. Started asking questions. So I guess now me is just trying to make everything connect. As far as the reason why I was having such a problem was I really was having a problem with the theme because like I was thinking ahead like how am I gonna make the visuals for nostalgia? You know what I'm saying? If I have a theme that's nostalgic, like it's so many ways you could go with that. You understand? So it was like, what am I gonna focus on? Like I don't want to be like, oh these, like pick a certain toy because then it might seem like the toys are only that. Like if I pick a theme toy like from the 80s or something, then it would be like, is this all that company sells? So I was trying like to figure out how was I gonna identify visually nostalgia.
Yeah, because nostalgia
so,
means different things to different people. So it's kind of like,
right.
how
So
do you
Yeah, that's a hard
represent
one.
that?
So like for my shape right now, for my shape right now, I was gonna go with like puzzle pieces.
Oh
And
You're
yeah.
gonna go with what? Sorry.
Puzzle pieces.
Oh, okay.
And so like that way, because like everybody remembers doing puzzles. Like that's one of the first things and they're excited when you're young. Like, oh, a puzzle. Like when you get older, you like, you might not want to sit there and do it. But when you're young, it's like, oh, I want to put this together. And so I decided to do puzzle pieces. And I'll see how that works. I'm trying to still think about like the pattern and how I'm gonna do. Basically, how I'm gonna do the pattern and the lines. I kind of was thinking about like squiggly lines because it's like youth and fun or whatever. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out how to put it all together right now. As far as
I had the hardest time doing the typography, and like I think I went through like 20 different fonts before I was like, okay, I guess. And I actually ended up going to the very first one I chose, so it was a pain.
Right, I went through like 50 last night, and I was just downloading fonts from here and there, like, and I was like, well, something's gonna give, because this is my new computer, so like all my fonts that I already have stored on my other computer.
Oh no.
It's like,
yeah, I saved my fonts in a folder because I've been through that and I'm like, no, I can't find it.
Yeah. So over the
like,
summer, our company got hacked and I lost a ton of stuff and we lost all of our fonts. And after that, I did the same thing. Now I have a font, unless it comes from Adobe fonts. But if it's something that I download myself, I have now a downloaded font folder so that way that never happens again.
Yep.
It's the worst.
The worst.
Yeah. Now we got to do, now I have to do this because it's like I have hundreds of fonts on my other computer and I barely have any on this one. So it's like every time I need to do something, I'm trying to search for them. Even though I could just transfer them, but they're all over the place.
Charles.
So that's the issue. Like they're all over the place.
I did that too. We backed up all of our fonts at one point for work, and there was so many fonts, and we did the same thing. We're like, oh, let's have a backup of all our fonts, and no, there's no good way to do it.
What we're talking about?
Font choices and how challenging it is. You got to go through like a million fonts to kind of find one that you think you kind of like, maybe.
Well, you know, and as a rule of thumb, and I just put you like this. I go on the fonts website and
You put in the word.
and put in the word what
Yeah.
if it looks okay, I grab it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I do that too.
I have so
I
many
do too.
fonts in my repertoire. It's just like it's unbearable to like figure out use this, use that, use this, use that.
Unbearable is a great word.
But like I'm trying to figure out because like, well, I mean, basically I'm looking for fonts that are like reminiscent, like nostalgic,
Retro?
you know, fonts that are retro, oh, you know, stuff like that. So like I was
My-
all
Do like
over the
chunky
My suggestion,
fonts.
if you don't want to install the font, you can go on the stock for Adobe and
type
type in word font, and you'll see different styles. And you can download. You can always download the font family, but you won't be installing it. You'll just be using it as a headline.
Well, it'll be installed. It'll install to your Adobe suite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
I know. It's just my hardest part is like staying away from fonts that I love, because like fonts that are familiar. Because like it could be any word, and I could type it in, and then I'm going through, and I'm like, oh, that one looks good, and it's like, oh, that's the same font. I always like that's my issue. So like I have to go outside and look for other fonts like actively in order not to do that, because I do it a lot. And I realize like it's like 3 fonts that I'm like very fond of, and I always be like, oh, that looks good.
Oh yeah.
I think every designer goes through that. You know?
I mean,
we have our go-tos, like
Yeah.
And Google Fonts is really good too. You can download.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that requires you to actually download them, but they've got some nice fonts, and they've got some nice handwriting style fonts too that aren't too like off the wall. But Google now released all their stuff. Well, I mean, it's been a while now, but it's wonderful. We use Google
I
Fonts for
discovered
work.
them the other day.
Yeah,
Clean.
they're great.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of clean fonts because they're all supposed to be web based. So any font they have on there was established that way. So nice, clean. The handwriting fonts look good. There's a few that are a little, but for the most part, they're all really good. So it's not too bad.
I have to tell you, girls, thank you for being in my corner and pushing me. He did like it. I have just a little bit more rework to do, but he did like as I'm not didn't copy for what you have. I kind of said more of a cliche of what you have. But it's actually hockey in the desert. Pretty much.
I like it.
Pretty much.
What's your theme?
A steel warrior.
Okay.
I went from samurai to steel warrior this trip.
I haven't.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it's a suggestion, but like you could kind of, since you want a warrior theme, kind of have it like to where your hockey team or whatever is the only one that provides like theatrical, like 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 you have like a theatrical presence or something.
Yeah.
Like in it, because like you can have the ring set up like like kind of like how how they have those dinners where you can go to and they do the jousting and all that stuff like the old days.
Yeah. That's
like you have like a part of the show where during halftime,
like a halftime show almost.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's Vegas entertainment, and believe it or not, it would fit properly for that Vegas entertainment.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
The energy of Vegas for sure.
Yes, exactly.
I'll tell you, I don't like baseball. I am not a fan of baseball. I'd rather watch paint dry, honestly. But we have a local team, and it's an amateur league that actually it's a farm team for the Cincinnati Reds. But the only reason I go to the games is this food, and they have some really awesome entertainment. They do a lot of really cool things with kids. So this is the reason I go to the games, but because my husband likes baseball, and not me. But you could
Yeah,
throw that
baseball is
entertainment
so dry.
aspect is what reminded me of that. Just
Food
make
is
it
a big
fun.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, their food's fantastic. Plus, it's like downtown has a lot of good food. So, but all right. Unfortunately, I have to run because I have another meeting. So I don't know if you guys can continue recording this or not, because I don't know if it'll stop when I leave. But so all right.
Well, we got a good 10 minutes in, right?
Yeah, we got. Let's see what the recording's saying right now. We are. Oh, it doesn't give me.
Oh, we're at 20.
But, okay, well, I think we got all our time. So if we don't want to meet next week, we don't have to, but if we need to, we can. Doesn't matter to me. I'll get it all set up and put together and get this, at least this part.
I think we
uploaded.
should next week just to be on the safe side to make sure everyone's got their stuff together. Because this being coming up on our last month, a week before we go into whatever's next. Because
logos.
because what we carry from this point on is going to carry all the way through our graduation, which we know that. So
Yeah.
I would rather everybody be secure in what they know.
Yeah. So I will download everything. I'll put it in Premiere. I'll get the YouTube link up, and then we have that part complete, and then we can just meet next week just because we can. So
Okay. Awesome.
all right.
All right.
I'll see you guys next
bye,
week.
guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.